I am the Zeta Gundam. You know that name. It isn't just a title, it's a marker of a new generation. But to really understand what I am, why I was built, and what I can do, you have to look back. You have to understand the legend that came before me, the one that set the standard for everything that followed. See, a design like mine doesn't just spring from nothing. No, it's an evolution. It's a direct answer to the lessons learned in the fire of combat, lessons paid for by a machine that completely changed the rules of war. I stand on the foundation of a true giant. So let's go back to Universal Century 0079, the 1-year war. It was a brutal time, and right in the middle of it, my progenitor, the original Gundam, made its debut. It wasn't just some new weapon, it was a complete paradigm shift, a mobile suit so far beyond anything else on the field that its enemies started whispering its name like a ghost story. So, what made it such a game changer? Well, it was a combination of 4 huge breakthroughs. First, its armor, Luna Titanium. It could literally just shrug off machine gun rounds from a Zaku. Its beam rifle that was like taking a battleship's main cannon and shrinking it down to fit in its hand. Then, you have the core block system, a genius idea to make sure the pilot, and maybe just as important, all that priceless combat data could get out alive. And finally, the learning computer. It was primitive, sure, but it was the first real step towards a pilot and machine working together, adapting and learning, and all that data it gathered that paved the way for every mobile suit that came after, yeah, including me. And that wasn't just some Earth Federation propaganda, okay? That was the truth on the battlefield. They called it the White Devil, and that name didn't come from its friends. It was earned, given by its enemies out of fear and respect. Its list of victories proved that one superior machine in the right hands could absolutely change the course of a war. That was its legacy, overwhelming power. But here's the thing about mobile suit development. 8 years is an eternity. After the 1-year war, things didn't just stop. You had incidents like the Delaz conflict in '83, and it became painfully clear that the battlefield was evolving at a breakneck speed. A new kind of mobile suit wasn't just a nice idea anymore. It was an absolute necessity. And that's the world I was born into. The biggest difference between me and the original Gundam isn't just about having stronger armor or a bigger generator. No, it's a completely different way of thinking about how a mobile suit is built. It all comes down to one concept, the movable frame. This whole idea was first really put to the test in the machine that came right before me, the Gundam Mark II. The best way to think about the movable frame is like, well, a real skeleton on the inside. All the crazy stress from combat, from high G maneuvers, it's all handled by this internal structure that means the outer armor doesn't have to do double duty. It can be lighter and just focus on one job, protection. This chart really lays it all out. The original Gundam was built with what's called a semi-monocoque design. Think of it like an insect's exoskeleton. The armor is the skeleton. It's strong for sure, but it's also rigid. Me, I have an endoskeleton. My armor is just a shell, a protective layer over a frame that can move with incredible freedom. This gives me a level of flexibility the first generation couldn't even dream of. And that is what makes it possible for a mobile suit to transform. So this movable frame, it's the very foundation of my being. It's what allowed my designers at Anaheim Electronics to just throw out the old rulebook and build all of my advanced systems, pushing the absolute limits of what a mobile suit could do. My armor is made of Gundarium Gamma alloy. It's lighter and tougher than the old Luna Titanium. And because of the freedom the frame gave them, they could completely rethink my power systems. Instead of one big generator in my chest, mine are in my legs. This freed up my whole torso for all the complex gears and servos I need to transform. But the biggest leap, it allowed for the integration of a biosensor. The original Gundam's learning computer was amazing for its time, but it could only react to the pilot. My biosensor, it creates a direct interface. It's a quasi-psychommu system that can literally read my pilot's brainwaves, their intent, their sheer will to win. When my pilot is in the zone, I can push past my own design limits, boosting my power, my speed, everything. It's the true next step in human-machine synergy. And the ultimate expression of what the movable frame makes possible is my most famous feature. The ability to completely reconfigure myself from a humanoid mobile suit into a high-speed atmospheric flight machine, my Waverider form. And this isn't just about flying around. This whole configuration lets me do something incredible, an assisted atmospheric entry. I can literally ride the shockwaves through the heat and pressure of re-entry. The original Gundam, for all its greatness, needed a support unit for a maneuver like that. I can do it alone. That gives me a kind of strategic flexibility its generation never could have imagined. But, design philosophy and fancy features are one thing. The real hard proof of evolution, well, that's in the raw data. So let's put the specs side by side. All right, I'm a bit taller, a little heavier. Sure, but that's not where the real story is. Look at the generator output, almost 50% more power. My sensor range is more than double, which means I see the enemy long before they see me. But the number that tells you everything you need to know is total thruster output. And there it is, the most dramatic jump. With a total thrust of 112,600 kilograms, I have more than double the raw motive power of my predecessor. On the battlefield, that translates directly into speed, acceleration, and agility that are simply on another level. The numbers don't lie. I'm not just a minor upgrade. I'm a different class of machine altogether, a necessary step forward for a new era of war that was faster and deadlier than ever before. I honor the legend, not by being the same, but by surpassing it, by carrying its purpose into the future. I am the result of 8 years of radical new ideas. I was the pinnacle of my time, the Grips conflict. But if history teaches us anything, it's that no design is ever the final word. Every peak is just a starting point for the next climb. So I'll leave you with a question to think about. If I am the evolution of a legend, what then will be the evolution of me?